Hello, everyone. I'm not in my normal space because it is my granddaughter's birthday and I'm at their house, but the show must go on. I am waiting for Rachel to log on any minute and we can resume with our podcast for today. I hope everyone is having a good Saturday. I am. I'm enjoying my granddaughter's birthday and just being around family, right? It is so important to be around family. So I am going to wait for a couple of people to log on and see. And this is just such a weird, it's an awkward situation here because I'm not on my normal area. And I'm trying to compromise with what I got here. So let's see who logs on. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to hold the phone. Um it's 6 o'clock, so let's just give it a couple of more minutes and see what happens. If not, we'll just can jump right in and talk about what our community has to offer us. So Um, let's see. Let's give it 1 minute. Someone has logged on and see who it is. Whoever logs on, please say hi so I can make sure to say hi to you. Again, I'm not in my normal scenario. I'm not home. I'm at my daughter's house and I gotta make the best of what I have to work with. So, Rachel, when you log on, please let me know when you are on so I can bring you in to the live. Today's episode for the podcast is knowing what your community is serving you. So, and I think that's really important to know what the community that you live in is serving you. Um, Let me see. I see a lot of people logging in. Hello, everyone. Again, I apologize. I am not at home. I am at my daughter's house celebrating my granddaughter's 5th birthday. So I'm trying to work in this office and I'm not really amazed with the lighting, but you got to do what you got to do, right? It's all good. So, again, the topic for today is what your community has to offer. And I wanted to log on because a lot of you guys know that I left New York to come to Virginia, the state of Virginia, and I came here with nothing. So, that transition alone was really, really hard for me because I came here with 3 kids and 1 paycheck. And when I say that, I am referring to the fact that I didn't come with no bedding. I didn't come with basically with nothing, just 3 kids and 1 paycheck. And clothes, obviously, I did have clothes for me and my children, but I had to start from scratch. And that can be really, really hard, especially when you're working with 1 paycheck and you have 3 kids depending on you. So I have Rachel just logged on, so let me add her to the conversation and bring her on. Let me see. Okay, Rachel, I sent you an invitation, so I'm trying to bring you on. Let me know when you get the invitation. Adding. And also the internet service is not great here, so
Can you?
you
Okay.
got me.
Hey.
Hello, Rachel. So everyone, this is Rachel from Axe and Dumfries, and she has become a good friend. A very good friend. So Rachel, can you introduce yourself and what you do for the county?
Yes, my name is Rachel Taylor, and I'm the director of our sexual assault services. And ACTS, we're the only sexual assault service within Prince William County, and we do a couple of things. One is one-on-one advocacy, and I know a lot of people always ask, like, what exactly is advocacy? So we're kind of like that guide after something like a sexual assault has happened. You, the first thing that comes to mind is usually not what's the next thing I need to do. It's what happens next. It's the opposite of kind of knowing what to do. And so you have that person to kind of ground you and say, you can go to the police if you want. You don't have to. You can go to the hospital if you want. Again, you don't have to. You can, go to a therapist. You don't have to do anything at all if you don't want. So it's that grounding kind of presence. We also do court accompaniment, and we're also responding to the Inova Fairfax Hospital if there's a victim from Prince William County who goes there. Mertz, I don't know if you want me to talk about the whole ACTS as a whole
So
or just our program.
I just started telling them that, when I transitioned from New York here, how you guys helped me out. I know I'm in the sexual advocate part of it now, but when I first started, I was in the domestic violence side of it. And I was helping victims in the domestic side of it. And how acts in our community in Prince William County provided me with so many resources. And one of the resources with this was the thrift shop, because you guys gave me a voucher to be able to get things for my children. And it was a used mattress. I want to just put it out there because it is a thrift shop. But I remember going to Walmart and getting a cover for the mattresses. And that gave me and my kids a place to sleep, not in a bare floor. To many, it may not be a big deal, but to me, it really touched me because I came with nothing and I wanted to start over my life because I had to, because I was in a bad situation. But I always told myself, this organization helped me so much. And when I get on my feet, I want to give back. And a lot of people don't know that their own county provides so many services. And I wanted you to talk about the services that ACTS gives the community and how you guys help people transition from nothing and giving them something and hope to believe that, hey, we are out there for the help and we can help you out if you reach out to us.
All right. Yes. And thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to talk about it. You've been such an amazing help. So just kind of a history of kind of where it started. So Axe, we've been around a long time. We started in 1969. There was a family whose house had burned down and they had nowhere to go. So there was actually 13 churches that came together and said, we need something more. And like you just said, there were so many things that you needed. You had nothing. And so it was through recognizing those needs of that family. So we started our homeless shelter, which is the Beverly Warren down in Dumfries. And we were also able to open up our food pantry. And over time, as the needs kind of evolved, just the basic necessities, right? Housing, roof over your head, food in your stomach. Those are the main things. And
Right.
so then we were able to open up our thrift store. And we do things like when people come in, some people don't even have the clothing on their back, as you know. And so we're able to get them vouchers for clothing. Sometimes it's like mattresses, furniture, for your first place. We can help with that. We had our suicide crisis line as well for a time being. We were able to close it because the 988 rolled out within the county. And so we have that mental health service that's now um, being able to take off and support the community in that way. But we also, in 1982, developed our domestic violence program. And to this day, it's the only domestic violence program in the whole county. And so
Wow.
Virginia is the second largest county in the entire state of Virginia. And we serve approximately 500,000 people. And so ACTS is the only one. We're teeny tiny, but we partner with the police for what we call the lethality assessment protocol program. So whenever police are called to the scene of crime, where there's allegation of violence, they'll ask the victim a series of questions and they'll do a score. And if the victim scores a certain level, then right at that moment, ACTS is able to get them transportation and a place to go in that moment. So that way, and it's a safe, secured location. Nobody knows where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
So we're able to kind of scoop them up and get them those services they need, and case management starts right away, advocacy starts right away, what to help with the next steps. We have staff that work out of the courthouse. And again, you've been through something like this, you don't know where to go, what to do. We have people right there saying, this is the office you go to, let's help you through the paperwork. And they'll be with you in court while you're asking the judge for your first protective order. We'll be back there if you have through that entire process, because anybody who's been through it, I'm sure you can speak to that, Maritza. Anybody who's been through it knows it's a long process.
Right.
And so we have our advocates there for every step of the way. We have, I'm trying to think, those are the big ones, housing program.
The housing
That's still,
program, yes.
we've expanded that as well. It's amazing. We also now are able to offer utility assistance. So if you need to keep your electricity going, you know, if you're getting into your first place, so you need a security deposit, we can help with that. If you're short on rent, we can help with that. So just all of those basic fundamental needs, we're able to do our best to try and match. It's a big county though, so we definitely have a lot to try and aspire to. But
Right.
a lot of the way we survive is through survivors like yourself, Maritza. We could not do it without you. Even just because like our food pantry is huge. We serve over 700 families a month. And just putting those bags together of food and handing them to someone, you would think that would be like easy, like a given, but we only have like 3 staff members.
Right.
And so the rest
And
are all volunteers.
you guys rely on the community as well to help and volunteer, because like I said, when I decided to, when I told myself, once I get on my feet, I'm going to go back to this organization and give back, and that's exactly what I did. But you guys also operate with volunteers, so that plays a big role to continue the process, especially in the pantry, because you're serving so many people in the community. You need volunteers to help out and bag these boxes. I would say boxes because I was getting boxes.
It's still a
I
box. We
was
still box.
getting
Yeah.
boxes. And now I'm very grateful for the boxes that I received, because Lord knows I needed those boxes of food. But I had transitioned from the domestic violence side to the sexual assault side. And again, that is another program that you guys have for the victims. And I want you to just share a little bit about that and the process that, if a victim calls the hotline or the police department, where do you guys pick up and how do you guys help out the victim?
All right, thank you. Well, it's a small team. Right now we have some vacancies, but at our best, we're a team of 4. And so we run a 24/7 hotline, and the 4 of us could not do it without our volunteers. And I have to say thank you so much, Maritza, for your help, because it is
Aw.
so important to be able to be there for those phone calls. I I kind of explain it a little bit more like a warm line rather than like a hotline,
Mm-hmm.
because we're not just like 911, we're here, what's your
Right.
emergency? We can do that. If you're like, something's happened, what do I do next? Like, what are my options? We could say, well, we're able to meet you at the hospital, or do you want to go to the police station? Or most importantly, and what we do most of is just tell me how you're doing right now. What,
Right.
you know, what
That
are you going
emotional
through?
support.
Exactly. That's so important. And we know for longer term success, the sooner you can start that healing process and addressing what's going on, the likelier you are to be able to get stronger in the long run and reduce some of those effects like long-term post-traumatic stress
Right.
disorder and things like that. So it's been actually really wonderful in a sense. As the director, you kind of step back a little bit sometimes from these cases, but with some of our vacancies, I've really been able to step up and really be at some of these really pivotal moments with some of our clients.
Mm-hmm.
Like just being there in the room when someone is about to tell the story for the first time to the police officer and just having something like I had these little rubber animals that I brought with me,
Right.
and they turned into like little fidgets, and so it's really just amazing. And time after time is why I love your foundation and I love what you're all about, Maritza. Is the power of survivors blows me away every single day, and
Thank
just
you.
I mean, you're superheroes. Yeah, it's just incredibly humbling to be able to work with that and to help, you know, people kind of release their superpower and their strength and get through that. So, and
And
it's,
Axe does have bilingual services
we have what?
because you have bilingual services.
Yes,
So
we do.
you
We do.
have also staff members that are bilingual and they help out the community. So it's not just for English speaking people, it's basically for everyone in the community to provide them with what they need.
Yes, and that's an excellent point. We are Prince William County. We're the most diverse county in the state of Virginia, and we're the 10th most diverse county in the United States. And so, being culturally aware and being able to meet everybody's needs is so important. I would say um, most of our clients, over half, are Spanish speakers. And right now,
Right.
at this very moment, we have that position vacant for a bilingual sexual assault advocate. But, you know, it's really helped, like the whole DV team, everybody's come in and worked together. You know, you as our volunteer has been able to step in and help support these people with whatever unique needs that they bring to us.
So Rachel, I know in one of our conversations, we were talking about oh my God, not sexual assault, but a person that has sexually abused someone in your county. How can people look up to see if you live with near a sex offender? Because that's also something you guys handle, right? Or no?
Well, no, and that's a really good question because a lot of people come to us who are looking for services like for batterers intervention programs or for sex offender treatment programs. Those are offered out in the county. Uh, I actually, for about 10 years prior to coming here, worked in probation parole, and I supervised the team that managed all of the felony sex offenders in the community. And I worked for was within Prince William County and we served the county, but I was a state agency. So shout
Um,
out to District 35, Probation Parole. But part of that, we also worked for the Sex Offender Registry in Virginia. And so the registry came into existence in 1994. And if you just, the easiest way I can say is Google. If you want to know about the sex offenders in your community is to Google Virginia Sex Offender Registry. And you can search by name, you can search by zip code, and alphabetically, I believe that they
right.
can pop up. And so if you have any questions about the registry or who registers or how it works, I'm not going to go into more than you need,
Right,
more than you
yeah.
want to know.
They can Google and get that information, right?
Yep, we
But
can.
it's very easy. It's very easy to get that information.
It is. It's very accessible. And if you're not sure, we got a 24-hour hotline and we are more than happy to answer any questions. I know that as of around 2015, I believe, we had Robbie's Rule introduced in Virginia. So, because one of the things that is really important is to know that prior to 1994, if when the sex offender registry came into existence, it didn't grandfather anybody in. So up until 2015, anybody who had committed a sex crime in the state prior to 94 was not required to register. But then Robbie's Rule was able to introduce the supplement to the registry, which is more of a passive, so it's a list of names that you can access on the website. And it added about 5,000 extra names to the sex offender registry of people we wouldn't have otherwise known
Right.
would have been responsible for those crimes. And also it's, you know, all the laws in Virginia regarding sex crimes are really interesting. There's a lot of work to be done
I
with
know
that.
I have been reading on them because I don't remember I had a conversation with you and I don't know how I ran across um sex offenders and the book Bobby's rules, and it was just reading it I was like, man, how did I miss this? Like, how did I miss this entire book, let me say, because you can get it anywhere. But it had me thinking, and I'm like, I really got to get this book and read it. So I'm going to put it down in our comments so other people can purchase the book. But the main goal today was the fact that I really want to say thank you to Axe and the services you guys provide for our community. And a lot of people don't know that each county has a resource center or an organization to help them get back on their feet. And Axe is one of those organizations that is very dear to me. That's why even though I just volunteer, I do when I'm on call, I take my call serious. I'm like, I'm on it because I am I'm a survivor. I don't want to say a victim. I am a survivor. And I know what it feels like in that time of desperate need of help. Especially when you're a single mom and you don't know where you're going to get your next meal. Because I will vouch for the fact that I sometimes ate the leftovers, what my kids left on their plate, to just make sure that they had the food. And then I'll eat their leftover, whatever they didn't eat. And that was my dinner,
Mm.
and that it is what it is. These are my kids and I have to provide for them. But when I ran across Axe and you guys gave me boxes of food, I still did the same. I still let them eat first. And I took the leftover, but there was more to prepare of a meal, and the vouchers, especially the vouchers, they helped so much. I would never forget there was a Christmas that even the Salvation Army down the street helped out with Christmas gifts, So there's a lot of things in our community that we can put use to, but a lot of people are not aware of it. So I wanted to have this, podcast today for you to share that information and the services that Axe provides for the community. Not just the services, but the people you guys that work there are making this operate for the people in the community. And everyone in this organization is a sweetheart because it's like from you to Anna, it's like you guys are like my little circle of friends for the community here. Like, so I always tell people, like, you got to go to Axe. Like, what are you doing? Why are you struggling? Like, go to Axe and see how they can help you. Um, but if you can provide that information, the location, the hours of operation. I know the food pantries are different hours
Yeah.
opposed to the hours that you guys provide to help people. So if you can provide everyone with that information.
Yeah, absolutely. Off the top of my head, I don't know what our food pantry's hours are, but I do know our office hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, if you want to walk in. And that's for any campus on with Axe. So if you want to talk to, DV or SA, or you want to talk to somebody over in the administration building, like our CEO Stan, if you want to just pop in and say hello. Um, that's a 9 to 5 kind of operation. But we're 24/7, so we don't close in that sense. Both SA and DV, we have our phone numbers. The food pantry, there are, I believe it's like a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday kind of uh,
Mm-hmm.
kind of hours. And I know that they have, usually it's like 11 to 1 and then like 3 to 7 or something like that. But if you go to our website, ACTS, ACTS, axepwc.org, you'll be able to do things like volunteer on our website. You can donate if you want to. Most of our funding actually comes from individual donors, from
Right,
members of the community. So it's so important. You could sign up to be a volunteer there as well and learn a little bit more like the hours and locations. So we're based in Dumfries, but we also have offices in Manassas that we're able
right,
to meet people at, or we have certain office hours over there as well. But one of the services I did also want to say is because you're talking, you make sure your kids eat first, right, and then you come second. And one of the things with our services with SA and DV is that we're there to serve the whole family and not just the victim. So I can't tell how many times I've had a mother call because her daughter's been through something, and then you stop and ask, well, how are you? And then
right.
that you hadn't even thought about yet. So we're there to help the
Exactly.
parent. And even if it's something like talking to like a father who just doesn't know how to support his daughter who's been through something, like we can handle those calls. We can talk through stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
you never know what we can do, really. And we try our best to do 360, no wrong door kind of
Exactly.
thing. Mhm.
Rob just logged in and he said it's 5604 names,
Wow.
5,604 names. Rob, I'm
Well,
going to have you next time in my podcast because I really want to talk to you and get information because knowledge is power. And I'm learning, like, I'm listening to your book and I'm like, wow. So I'm really intrigued by your book and I really want to, when you have the availability to bring you into the podcast so you can share your book and we'll have a topic for you to discuss. But um, I wanted the community, and not just, Prince William County, to really know what you have within your community and reach out to someone. Don't feel like you're alone. Don't feel like, don't starve. First of all, let's not,
Don't
there's
starve.
no need for you to starve, because there's resources in your community. And if, acts cannot, for some reason, acts cannot be there, or the pantry is not open, please don't hesitate to reach to me. I have a group of people that are always willing to give back to the community. So there is help out there. You just have to be willing to reach out. And sometimes we got to push our pride aside, because being prideful will prevent us from a lot of blessings. Being prideful will not allow us to accept help when we need the help. So let's just push our pride aside, and let's get all the blessings and reach out for help, and reach out to someone. Even I know, acts, even if we don't need the help, we can stop in and bother Rachel and just
On the one.
talk. That's one thing I love about you guys, that you guys are genuine. You guys are real. It's not like you're walking into an agency and everybody's snooty and it's just like, standoffish. No, they're very welcoming. You just take the time to say, what you need, and allow them to help you. So the resources is out there. It's just a matter of you reaching out for the resources. So I want to thank you, Rachel, so much for
And
coming on, and thank you for,
thank
I would
you.
say, are you my director? No, who's my director? You're my director?
Mhm.
Oh, Rachel, you're my boss?
I try to hide it, but Stan, or
Rachel's like,
Stan's my
yes,
boss.
girl, I'm your boss. Look at that. See, I didn't even know she was my boss, because she is so down to earth. But I love Rachel. And that's to show you guys, there's no title. There's
No,
no title. She's willing to help you, and she's one of us. So, but thank you so much, Rachel, for giving us your time and providing the information. Thank you.
absolutely.
Is there
Well, I
anything
can't.
else you wanted to share?
No, I just thank you again. You've continued to amplify our voice and be an advocate for us. And thank you so much for having us on your podcast and for all you've done for us for 8 years. Was it 8 years now?
Gonna be, yeah,
Great.
8, almost 10 years.
Oh, that is crazy. That
I
is
know,
wild.
I know.
Oh,
But you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world. Volunteering has been a healing process for me too, to help others. So I
yeah,
don't see it as a volunteer, like me. Providing a service. It's also healing for me as a survivor to help someone else. So it's a give and take.
it is. We're doing it
We're doing
together though. And I know
it together,
we
right?
have. You've been here longer than I have, and you were one of the first voices I met. And so it's been wonderful this whole time with this team. It's been great.
Yeah, it has. All right, Rachel. Well, have a great Saturday. Everybody have a great Saturday, and thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.